So my microphone is working. Let me make sure that I'm ready. And can I tell if people are here? Let me see. So this is awkward. I'm trying to get this right. Is this a good view? I think you can see the thing in my eyes. Okay. I think I'm ready to get started. Welcome to live. Let's see what this is. Engage with your audience. Okay, that's me. That's that. Okay, move that down. Top chat. Okay. I am. Let me make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay. I don't go live on YouTube often. I go live on TikTok. But I just spent about 45 minutes going over or recording the new updates to the Michigan cottage food laws, only to turn my camera around and look at it, and it only recorded 13 seconds. So I figured I would just do this live, and then it would be recorded, and it is what it is. I'm hoping that the volume on my mic is good. It seems like it's only doesn't seem loud. So I hope I'm loud enough. I have to wait until somebody is here to let me know if I'm loud enough. But I am trying to figure out how to share the live out, y'all. This is something special. This is the link. I'm going to be getting started in about 3 minutes. I am just trying to figure out how to share this link out. Facebook, email. Okay. That's really hard to do because it probably won't even let me sign into my Facebook. I want to put some words on the screen. How do you do that kind of stuff? Engage with your audience. I am the audience. Okay. Wonder if I should have did the other streaming because then I can put stuff on the screen. I can't put anything on the screen here. Okay. While I'm waiting on somebody to join me, I'm going to go and share this on my Facebook, which seems to be harder than it needs to be. Is there another way to log in to Facebook? This is quite aggravating. Let me see. How can I do this? Maybe I can email the link to myself and then open up the email. I could do that. Paste. Yep, that's it. I did it. Let's do this. Delete. 2. Send anyway. Okay. Think I might have found a way to share the link. Let's see if it works. Look, we got a couple of seconds here. This is me.
Have you heard about pop-on roofing? We need
That's not what I want to do. I want to copy the link. There we go. Copy link. I think I did it. Did I copy it? Copy link. Go over to Facebook. Okay. I think I am ready to begin. I just posted, I think I posted it, right? Did y'all see the Clarissa Shields fight last night? Ooh, Clarissa. Go, Clarissa, go. Girl, I love me some Clarissa Shields. All righty. Live over here is a lot harder than live over on TikTok. But this is what we're going to get into. We're going to get into these Michigan cottage food law updates. These updates, wait, this light is shining in my face, y'all. Let's put it behind me. Doesn't make me look dark, does it? Can you see? Looks like the shadow is over here. So I need more light on that side of the room. Hold on. Let's get some light going on here. How about that? All right. Let's talk about it. Now we're going to talk about the new updates to the Michigan cottage food laws. They are really some good updates, in my opinion. Could there have been more? Of course they could. But being that it's been so long since they did a update, I guess we have to take what we're getting and go from there. But this is, wait. This is MCL section 289.4102 amended. This is chapter 289, Act 92 of 2000. That's where all those numbers come from. Now, 289-4102 amended. This section takes effect March 24th of 2026. This means that you have a good month to work on your website, do some updates, get your products, at least get your name out there, because these laws actually allow you to sell from your website. But we'll get into that. Let me start off by, okay, I gotta make sure my mouth not dry to read this stuff, y'all. And of course, the dog starts barking. We are going to go through this amendment line by line, and then in between that, I will explain what I am reading. Now, this is not legal advice. This is my opinion simply from reading the laws that are sitting right in front of me. When this video is uploaded, the actual amendment will be pinned in the comments as well as in the description. It will be a PDF document, I believe, so you'll be able to see it, but it takes you right to the Michigan legislature page. So this is not my private document. This is a document from the state of Michigan. Right now, we are talking about the state of Michigan's changes, but we will work our way into the changes that are taking effect or have recently taken effect in other states. And we'll talk a little bit about Farmstands and how the Cottage Food Act and the Farmstands work together, but you have to beware and make sure that you're following you have to beware and make sure that you're following both sets of rules. It's very important that you follow both sets of rules. Okay, so 289.4102 amended cottage food operation exemption from licensing and evaluation provisions, requirements, registration program, MSU Product Center. So section 4102, number 1, a cottage food operation is exempt from the licensing and evaluation provisions of this act. That's the rest of the act. This exemption does not include an exemption from the adulteration of other standards imposed in this section or under this act, or both, and does not limit the ability of the department to take appropriate enforcement actions of applicable violations as described in section 5101. This subsection does not require a cottage food operation to meet standards contained in 21 CFR Part 110 or the Food Code. Got it? Got it. Now, let's start off with number 2. Cottage food products must be prepackaged and properly labeled before sale. Number 3, a cottage food operation shall place on the label of any food it produces or packages the following information. One of the following as applicable. Now, this is where the new thing comes in. The old way, you had to put your name and address of the business of the name and address of the business of the cottage food operation. You already had to do that, name and address. But what's new is that the name, telephone number, and registration number issued under subsection 8 of the business of the cottage food operation. Subsection 8, we're going to get down there because we're only up here at subsection 1. Okay, so the new thing is under subsection 8, you'll be able to put your name and your phone number and a registration number as opposed to your address on your labeling. Okay, you also need the name of the cottage food product. You need the ingredients of the cottage food product in descending order of predominance by weight. You already needed that. The weight, the net weight or net volume of the cottage food product. You already needed that. If any nutritional claim is made, appropriate labeling as specified by federal labeling requirements. The following statement printed in at least equivalent of 11-point font size in a color that provides a clear contrast to the background. The statement that you have to put is made in a home kitchen that has not been inspected by the Michigan Department of Agricultural or Rural Development. Those things were already the rules, guys. Now, except as otherwise provided in this section, a cottage food product, let me check my comments, a cottage food product, we're on number 4. A cottage food product must be sold directly from the cottage food operation to the consumer. Sales by consignment or at wholesale are prohibited. Prohibited means you can't do it. You can't bake and consign, and you can't bake and sell wholesale. That's a whole different set of licensing and requirements. I am sure that I have seen plenty of people doing this. It was already prohibited. It's still prohibited. Watch your back. Okay. Now, the next thing is a cottage food product must be, wait a minute. I lost my place, guys. This is a new change right here. This one is a big one. A cottage food product. You know what? Let me make sure. Is my microphone good? Can anybody hear me? Is there anybody in the chat? Can you let me know? Yes or no if you can hear me. I'll pause for a minute before continuing to number 4. I don't know. I don't think I have anybody in the chat. But I was determined to make sure that I captured this because after spending 45 minutes recording only to have 13 seconds, it wasn't good. Okay, so number 4, except as otherwise provided in this subsection, a cottage food product. Oh, no, we did number 4. Sorry. We're on the second line of number 4. Say, a cottage food product may be sold by the internet or mail order or may be delivered to a consumer through a third-party food delivery platform if the cottage food operation provides the opportunity for a consumer to directly interact with the cottage food operation before the cottage food product is sold. That's it right there, y'all. We can now sell on the internet and through mail order and through food delivery providers, meaning you can package your cottage food items, your breads, your jams, whatever it is, and you can use Uber Eats. You can use DoorDash. As long as there is a way for your consumer to directly act with you before purchasing your product. We're going to get into that a little more later. But again, you have now 30 days to get this together and be ready. Now, a cottage food product sold by the internet or mail order or delivery through third-party delivery platform must be sold or delivered only to the consumer in this state. Okay, so we can deliver now, but we can only deliver here, wait a minute, and here. We got the mitten and the rabbit. You can't go over here to Indiana. You can't go over here to Ohio. You can't be up here in Chicago. We can sell within the state of Michigan, and that is major, especially since now it can be a mail order. It can be a DoorDash. You just have to figure out your packaging and make sure that you work that packaging into your pricing and that you're shipping fresh items. Now, under 4A, this is where we talk about direct interact with. Now, directly welcome in. If you have just joined me, I am reading the amendments to the Michigan Cottage Food Act, and I am at number 4A. Direct interact with includes either face-to-face meeting or a virtual meeting. Y'all, we can meet with the customers virtually. More on that later. B, now they're going to explain to us what virtual means. A virtual meeting includes, but is not limited to, a meeting in which communication occurs electronically in a manner that permits two-way communication so that participants can be seen and heard, or be heard by all parties to the communication. Seen and heard, or heard by all parties. That is self-explanatory, guys. All you have to do is set something up on your website with a calendar or the contact us. Allow that customer to be able to click on that link, either set up a date, send you an email where you can contact them back. You jump online and you have this face-to-face where you're either seen and heard or you're just heard. You can do Zoom, Skype, whatever platforms you use. You don't have to show your face because it says seen and heard or heard by all parties. The main thing is you have to be able to communicate and your customer must be able to communicate back. It's a two-way communication. I personally use a company called ZOHO, and I use ZOHO Meet. It is included with my ZOHO One subscription, so there's no extra paying. I can set up a quick meeting, meaning that if I get an email, there's a button right there that I can click where I can reach out and start a meeting immediately. So I'll put a link to ZOHO and its products down in my description, but let's keep going. Virtual meetings, y'all, big update. Number five goes into the amount of gross sales. Your operation must not exceed the sales. Now, remember, before we were at $25,000. They've now updated that to $50,000 annually. And then you can even get $75,000 annually. Now, this is a long one for me to read. So what I'm going to do is skim through this one because the main thing that you need to know is, wait a minute, let me find it. Let me get this first part. Except as otherwise provided in this subsection, the gross sales of cottage food products by a cottage food operations must not exceed $50,000 annually until October of 2026. If the cottage food operation sells cottage food products at a price of $250 or more per unit, The gross sales of the cottage food product by the cottage food operation must not exceed $75,000 annually until October 2026. Okay. We went from 25,000 to 50,000. But if you sell a product as a unit, that one product is $250. You sell that product to a consumer, not to several consumers. So you can't have a $50 product that you sold to multiple people to equal $250. You have to have a $250 product sold to one person. Your annual can go up to $75,000 in the year. Now I'm going to go and skip down to the part because it does break that down. Now the rule allows them to update this every year, but they have to use these cost factors. They're going to use the pricing index. They have to use the preceding and the previous, and what are using the previous consumer index from the June, July. It's a whole bunch of calculations. It's going to be based on the Detroit Consumer Product Index. So they're not just going to pull this out of the air. It is structured to how they have to do it to create this math in order to go up. Now, let's move on. But I wanted to, there was a person there. There was one thing in here. Okay, there it is. For the purpose of this subsection, the gross sales must be computed on the basis of the amount of gross sales on a per person basis. That's what I was talking about. So that $250 product is per person. You can't lump it into 5 people. Okay. Now, number 6. Cottage food products must be stored only in the primary domestic residence. You already knew that. That was already there. Number 8, this is the one that talks about the using your name and address and your registration number. It says, if the MSU Product Center administers a registration program for cottage food operations, the records of which must be available to the department upon request, a cottage food operation may register with the MSU Product Center. Okay, so you don't have to. If and when MSU creates this product center, you have the option of registering with it. You don't have to. If you register with it, there are some couple of things that are going to happen. But number 1, you will be able to change your label on your product to show your name, your phone number, and your registration number, meaning you can leave off your address. You still have to put the product name, the ingredients, the weight, and all of that, but you do get to leave your address off. Now, here's more about the MSU Product Center. The MSU Product Center may do both of the following: issue a document that evidences the granting of registration and contain an identifying number unique to the cottage food operation. A cottage food operation registration number, same thing. They can collect a one-time registration fee, not more than $50, to administer the registration program. This is going to be the one to watch. So they can collect a fee one time, no more than $50. Now, for me, one time means one time. It means life. This does not say one time annually. This does not say one time every 3 years. It says one time. So I'll be interested to see how that number 8B terms in the future. Oh, my alarm is going off. Ziggy, stop. Figures, it's noon. Okay, that was B. Now, did I get that right? Yep. So they may collect not more than $50 for this registration fee. Again, that's going to be the one to watch. Now, a cottage food operation that registers with the MSU Product Center under subsection 8 shall include on its label, what I just said, under subsection 3, the registration number issued to the cottage food operation. Now, that means that now because it says shall is their way of basically saying must. I hate that they use the word shall. So it's saying that you can and you cannot. It depends. So if you're registered, I guess it would depend on how you're labeling. If you don't want to put your address, then you're going to put your registration number and phone number and name. If you want to use your address, then you're going to use the old system, whether you registered or not. Now, a cottage food operation that does not register with the MSU Product Center under subsection 8 shall include on the label described in subsection 3 the name and address of the cottage food operation. Yeah, they already said that. Now, number 10, information obtained under subsection 8 is exempt from disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act. That means that if let me get this, let me break this down all the way through. If and when MSU creates this, what are they calling it? This is Michigan State University. Okay, so if and when MSU creates this product center, you have the option of registering your cottage food operation for not more than $50. If you register, you can now label your products with your company name, phone, and your phone number and your registration number. If you register with the MSU Product Center, the information that they collect in order to give you that registration is exempt under Freedom of Information Act, meaning you, or whoever can't do a FOIA request to find out whatever they want to know about you. They can only get what is supposed to be given, which would be the name of the operation and the phone number, which is already there. So that means that the MSU will not be adhering to FOIA requests about your food operation. This is a registration process for labeling only. This is what it seems like to me. But all in all, I think that these are changes in the right direction. I want to say really good changes in the right direction. Now, I also want to give credit. You know what? I may have to go to my phone. I'm sorry. I didn't think about this, but I really do want to give credit where credit is due. And let me find it. I first heard about the update changes on TikTok by a creator named Louise, Louise. Louise explained that she did a petition to have some updates made. And I don't know if I ever saw her petition as a Michigan person. She wasn't someone that I follow, but I'm from Michigan. She came across my For You page and she gave a breakdown of this. When I went to look up what she was talking about, because of course, Michigan cottage food law, I was able to find all of this. So Miss Louise is over on TikTok. Go over there and follow her. She's on Facebook. I don't see her anywhere on YouTube. But you go over there, you follow her and tell her thank you. Her and any other farm or anybody else in Michigan that took part in helping get these changes made, because these changes affect all of us, and they're going to improve the climate for all of us. So Miss Louise, I don't want to put your picture on my camera because I didn't ask your permission. But again, she's over on TikTok. Go over there and follow her. And when you go to TikTok, go to her bio and go to her website, because she is a cottage food baker. She's a professional baker that turned cottage food. So make sure y'all check her out. Now, back to this. For Michigan, that's it, y'all. It's 10 very good amendments that I believe make everything worth it. Again, let me recap just in case so that we have it again for anybody that's joining late. The new Michigan cottage food laws take effect March 21st, March 24th. The new Michigan cottage food laws take effect March 24th, 2026. These are amendments. They have changed or offered an, not necessarily changed, they offered an additional option for product labeling of the operation. You now have the option of putting your name and phone number if and when the Michigan Product Center is created and you register. You now have the ability to go from $25,000 annually to $50,000 and even $75,000 if you are able, or if you have a product that is $250 or more. You also have the option now to sell online and through the mail statewide, Mitten, Rabbit, and use third-party food delivery services, meaning you can use Uber Eats. What's the other one? I just said it too. Uber Eats and whatever, them food people. You get to use those companies to deliver your food. Food delivery, okay? And I think that wraps up Michigan. Now, what I want to talk to you about is if you are not in Michigan, and you have not been paying attention to the changes that have been going on nationwide, and you're wondering if any of these changes or anything close has taken place in your area, all you have to do is a Google search, cottage food law updates. This is how I did it. I did cottage food law updates 2024 to 2026, all states, pending and future. So, and that brought me up a list of all of these different things that are going on. I just read to you what Michigan has. Texas has something called SB 541, and they are raising their sales cap to $150,000. It allows direct sales, selling to stores. Wow. Texas, y'all doing it over there. If y'all in Texas, y'all better go look up what's going on in y'all area. Illinois had a 2024 update, and that which allows mobile farmers markets and registration in adjacent counties. It requires a $50 fee and a food protection manager certification. So Illinois, that was in 2024. If you weren't aware of it, go check it out and then open that link up and see what else Illinois has. New Hampshire has a HB 304/150 in 2025. It allows commercial kitchen equipment and QR codes on label instead of ingredients list. Oh, that's nice, New Hampshire. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna have to check on that one. Because I like QR codes. Now, Minnesota has HF 2446, which shipping permitted starting in August of 2027 with a simplified $30 annual fee. Minnesota says you can ship. Now, I don't know if that means you can ship out of state or ship within Minnesota. So if you're from Minnesota, look up your cottage food laws. The 2024 to 2026 trends when it comes to cottage food, 9 states, California, Iowa, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Utah, Wyoming, Texas, and Tennessee now allow potentially hazardous items like cream cheese frostings, custards, or cheesecakes in home kitchens. Digital sales, almost all states now permit online ordering and third-party delivery. And the regulatory relaxation, several states are moving toward food freedom models that remove caps and allow most non-meat items. So again, if you are wondering if there are any changes to your state's cottage food laws, look it up. All you have to do is do a search. And don't read the first thing that you see unless it has some kind of reference to it. Me just telling you that Texas has raised its cap to 150 is not good enough. You now need to take that Texas, click on the link or copy that whole first sentence and research it till you get to Texas's page, Texas's official page where that information is. Now let's talk about Farmstands and the cottage food law, because this is where there's always a little bit of confusion. Cottage food says that you can sell these items, and we now can sell them under these different formats. Your farm stand is completely different. What you can put in your farm stand are the items from your cottage food, from the cottage food operation, but there are other things that you need to be aware of in that farm stand. Now, I don't know about everywhere else, but in Michigan, one of the things that we have to look out for is that your farm stand, and I think I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this because we really have to dig into this farm stand thing. But one of the things about the farm stand here in Michigan, I don't know about everywhere else, is that the items in your farm stand have to be predominantly items that were from your property. And I can't remember if it was just made on your property or if it was grown. That's why I have to do a whole separate one. Meaning you can't make t-shirts. You can't have 15 t-shirts inside of your farm stand and have one crate of eggs, 1 dozen of eggs. A dozen of eggs is 12, but you have 15 t-shirts. That you can't do. So for that dozen of eggs, that allows you to do 6 other items, right? And those other items, the t-shirt is just an example, but I'm trying to tell you about the scale that you have to go by. So you have to be careful with your farm stand and ensure that you're not selling more non-farm items with your farm items on your farm stand. And therefore, your cottage food items come into play. Now, items grown on your farm, flowers picked, vegetables offered, those kind of things, those are all fair game. The mistake comes in is when you try to add other non-farm and food items and you don't get that ratio right. So you really want to look into that. Again, I'm going to do a whole separate video. My name is officially Fran. Thank you to anyone that popped in. I did not look back and forth to figure out what was going on here. I just needed to get this information out here. And I tried once and messed it up with my recording. So I did it live, stumbled through it, and it's out there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now. I don't even know how to stop the doggone live. Oh, in stream. Bye-bye.